On our fifth week on the road, we stayed in the Quad Cities area. Specifically, we camped at Fisherman's Corner in Hampton, Illinois, just outside of East Moline. This campground was an Army Corps of Engineers campground near Lock and Dam number 14. It was right on the Mississippi River and was very clean and well maintained. We were able to walk the dogs around the park, and there was a nice overlook with a picnic table right on the river. Since we were staying on the Illinois side of the river, we were able to add another state to our map. On our first day, we decided to check out a couple of the Quad Cities. The Quad Cities actually consists of more than 4 cities. It includes East Moline, Moline, and Rock Island on the Illinois side of the river, as well as Davenport and Bettendorf on the Iowa side. We stopped by the Quad Cities Visitor Center in Moline and got some information on what to do in the area from a very helpful employee. We then drove around the Broadway Historic District of Rock Island, a neighborhood that included many Victorian-style houses and old brick roads. Afterwards, we crossed the river into Iowa and explored Davenport's riverside. We took the elevator up to the Sky Bridge and caught some great views. We finished up our night with a beer from Front Street Brewery and Stomp Box Brewery, getting a stamp from each on my Quad Cities Ale Trail sheet that I got from the Visitor Center. The next day we went to Sylvan Island, a man-made island that sits between Moline, Illinois and the Rock Island Arsenal. Sylvan Island was originally connected to the mainland, but land was blasted away in order to create dams and harness the power of water in the area. Beginning in the 1890s, Sylvan Island was home to Republic Steel, which was in operation until they went out of business in 1956 and abandoned the factory. Since then, the ruins of this steel mill have been reclaimed by nature. We parked at Sylvan Island Gateway Park in Moline and crossed the pedestrian bridge to the island. There is a 1.2-mile loop around the island that you can hike or bike, and many people found a place to fish off this trail. There are also several trails that are offshoots of this main loop. These smaller trails take you inside the island, through the graffitied remains of the Republic Steel factory, as well as the old loading dock that runs through the middle. It was really interesting to see the ruins and some of the artwork created on the old concrete walls. After walking back to the Sylvan Island Gateway Park, it was a short walk to the Sylvan Slough Naturalized Park. This was another park that used to be an industrial area but has been reclaimed by nature. The Midway Oil Company once stood in this place, but now only parts of the factory remain. The area is now a naturalized park along the river. Overall, this park, as well as Sylvan Island, was a really cool area to explore. After hiking Sylvan Island, we were pretty hungry. We decided to eat at Frank's Pizzeria in Silvis, Illinois. Frank's is known for its take on Quad Cities style pizza. This pizza is known for having malt in the crust and toppings placed underneath the cheese, as well as being cut into strips instead of slices or squares. We ordered a pepperoni and sausage pizza, and it was very good. Another day, we decided to check out the bike trail that was just outside our campground. We rode 8 miles, riding to Port Byron and back. We thought the trail would follow the river more, but it ran along the highway mostly, so it wasn't as enjoyable as we thought it would be. After the bike ride, we decided to try Whitey's ice cream, which is a must-try in the Quad Cities. We tried peanut butter and Oreo, as well as the cookies galore flavor. Both were good. On Friday, we drove to Wildcat Den State Park, near Muscatine, Iowa. This park is free, as most Iowa state parks are, and it includes the Pine Creek Grist Mill, a mill built in 1848. There is also a one-room schoolhouse nearby. The main attraction in the park is its hiking trails. We hiked the Devil's Punch Bowl Trail, which included some natural trail as well as boardwalks and steps. This trail winds down into the Punch Bowl, which is a natural formation of rock walls and an eroded bowl-shaped feature that, during heavy rain, includes a waterfall. It was a really neat area to explore. After we hiked back up and out of the Devil's Punch Bowl, we did a short hike to Steamboat Rock, a sandstone rock formation that is supposed to resemble a river steamboat. There is a large sandstone wall in this area as well, with all kinds of carvings in it, some from 100 years ago. It was pretty neat. All that hiking made us hungry, so on our way home we stopped at a Made Right Diner, a well-known Iowa restaurant. They are known for their loose meat sandwiches, so we had to try one, as well as a Made Right chili shoe, which was a big plate of their chili cheese fries. Everything was very good. The next day we visited the Rock Island Arsenal. It is free to get in, but since it is an active military installation, you have to fill out some paperwork and go through a short background check first. After we were cleared, we drove through the gates past the National Cemetery. Our first stop was the Arsenal Museum, which is a free museum showcasing the history of the island, as well as different weapons used by the Army over the years. It also showed a lot of the weapon components that were manufactured at the arsenal throughout its history. It was a very well done and informative museum. While on the island, we also visited the Locken Dam, which is the largest roller dam in the world. The visitor center was unfortunately closed while we were there, but we could still go out on the Locken Dam observation deck. We also checked out some interesting tanks and weapons that were displayed outside on the island. After visiting the arsenal, we went to Bent River Brewery in Moline for lunch. I got another stamp on my ale trail sheet, and we split some smoked wings and a spicy little clucker chicken sandwich that was way better than either of us imagined it would be. I needed one more stamp in order to get a Quad Cities Ale Trail bottle opener, so we stopped by Rebellion Brewery in Moline for a quick beer. It was good. We decided to close out our time in the Quad Cities with a paddle boat tour on the Mississippi River. We did an hour-and-a-half narrated sightseeing tour on the Celebration Belle, which took us under the I-74 bridge towards the Rock Island Arsenal roller dam and back. It was a wonderful way to wrap up a week along the Mississippi River in the Quad Cities. On Sunday morning, we packed up and hit the road towards our next stop, Des Moines, Iowa. But first we had to make a stop at the world's largest truck stop on I-80. We thought it would be a cheesy stop that we had to visit just to say that we did, but they have a trucking museum that is an absolute must-see. The I-80 Trucking Museum is free and has rows and rows of all different kinds of trucks, including pickups, cement trucks, and semi-trucks, and so much more. We took our time checking out all the vehicles on display as well as the vintage signage on the walls and hanging from the ceilings. Even the trash cans were interesting. This museum was way better than we had expected, and we would definitely visit again. After strolling through the I-80 Trucking Museum and grabbing a bite to eat at the world's largest truck stop, we hit the pavement towards Des Moines. Hope you enjoyed.